Go to Impulse.
Welcome! We have been working with the Krenim to build both this facility and a weapon similar to the one developed by Anorax in the 22nd century. Captain Nog is running point for the Alliance, but teams from all across the Alpha and Beta quadrants are involved with the research. It's fascinating work, but there's a lot to do yet. Captain Nog might be able to explain more. He's waiting for you. It's good to see you too. For a few weeks, I was helping the Alliance research new ways to deactivate Iconian gateways. We were making progress, but it wasn't fast enough to stop the advance of the Heralds. After Captain Nog made contact with the Krenim, I asked to transfer here. Now I'm working with interdimensional resonance harmonics to help recreate Anorax's work. Yes, I have. I guess the Solanae aren't visiting me at night anymore. Or maybe it's the 14-hour days trying to wrap my brain around complex temporal equations that are wearing me out. Either way, my sleep is greatly improved. Thank you for asking. Welcome! We have been working with the Krenim to build both this. Captain Nog might be able to...
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. Time isn't something you mess around with, so we have been conducting simulations here of possible incursions, as well as developing new ways to protect and store data on various timelines. When we talk about time alteration, we're specifically referring to the Krenim weapon's ability to remove something from time. Anything, from a single molecule to an entire civilization. It's as if the target of the weapon never existed at all. Correct. The changes ripple out from the incursion point and result in a new reality where the target no longer exists. This does mean that the ship must be able to fire on a target. The details are a bit more complex, of course, but that's the main difference from conventional time travel. I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but that was the first simulation we tried. The results were fairly catastrophic. Without the Iconians, the first development of warp technology by other cultures in the Alpha Quadrant is severely delayed, by about 50,000 years. Removing the Iconians would change everything we know. Let me put it this way. In one version, the Day Ones eventually rise to power and conquer most of the Beta Quadrant. They are forced back by the Vulcans, who never embrace logic, and later enslave much of what is now Federation and Klingon space. I'm not done yet. The Herc never developed warp technology at all, so they never invade Kronos and unite the Klingons as a warrior culture. When the Vulcan Star Empire finds the Klingons in the 22nd century, they were mostly farmers who had made some advances in epic poetry. By the present day in this simulation, The Vulcan Star Empire is locked in a to-the-death struggle with the Dominion. I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to... Oh, that the Iconians can't time travel because it unravels their minds. She was being dramatic, but she was essentially correct. When most humanoids time travel, they retain the memories of their timeline of origin. So you realize when things have changed. Iconians are at least partially energy beings. You saw that when Matara was able to use her own power to open gateways. And their brain structure is very different from other humanoids. As far as we understand, if an Iconian traveled back in time, their mind and memories would reshape to fit that time. So they would retain no memories of the present. They don't use time travel because it would literally be taking a step backwards. I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a... Once we make an incursion, anything not protected by a temporal shield will conform to the new timeline. That includes all of us once this mission is over. We won't remember the Iconians, the war, or anything that changes in the new timeline. Clouda has been leading the work to create a shielded computer core to hold all the data we currently have. A time capsule, I guess you'd call it. Correct. This isn't the sort of sacrifice we'd expect any personnel involved in the incursion to make. So we've built a computer to retain the information for us. We'll know what happened before, even though it essentially will have happened to someone else. I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anarax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. We've tried a different number of scenarios, but only in the holodeck. Direct action against the Iconians is proving to be problematic, because so much time has passed since they were first a great power. Incursions that far back in time must be carefully planned, or the fallout of even minor changes can ripple across reality. We have, however, seen some promise in trying to delay their arrival. Actually, it would be closer to a 700-year delay if our calculations are correct. The Iconians have had 200,000 years to build their fleets, but we're catching up to them. We've already seen what the 29th century technology can do. Imagine what we'll have in the 32nd century. Exactly. The other potential solution is to cut into their current power base. What if the Iconians never allied with the Alachi or the Solanin? We wouldn't be facing the trouble we do now. The three most promising incursions each follow one of these tactics. My teams have been running simulations and refining their targets, but I'd like you to assist them using a special quantum recursive algorithm. Our simulators can run the outcome of a possible incursion on the holodeck. Interacting with that simulation will give us more data than just crunching the numbers. We need to really interact with it to see what reality would look like, and for that, I need someone like you with field experience.
Hello. Please allow me to explain what we're doing here. We've determined that if we remove a specific series of stars from the Beta Quadrant in the distant past, a rogue planet will enter the Iconia system and cause massive geological damage at about the same time the planet was bombarded by the Iconians' enemies. The technological buildup of the orbital bombardment that destroyed the Iconian civilization will still happen, but the Iconians themselves will have to deal with a natural disaster, not a war. Maybe the survivors of a natural disaster, if there are any, won't be so vengeful, and none of the stars we will remove have planets with the possibility of developing life. The overall effect on the galaxy is minimal. It's a painful path, but it could be the one that leads to peace. The number of stars we will have to remove is a concern. which is why we're trying this in a simulation first. But as Captain Nog said, these simulations aren't perfect, so we have devised a holodeck program that will expand and extrapolate on possible effects of the temporal incursion. It's the best option we have available to us. The holodeck's algorithms have been updated to change and adapt to the data created by the simulated timeline alteration. This is not your average holo novel. Once we run the program, you'll be able to interact with our best approximation of the new timeline. Interaction with the holodeck components will allow the program to generate a more in-depth solution and give us a better idea of what to expect. We have set this simulation on a Federation starship patrolling the Sol system, and you are the captain. If all goes as planned, we expect that almost everything in the system should be close to current reality.
Computer, begin program.
Captain, you're alive! We repelled the intruders on the bridge, but the ship has taken heavy damage, and a lot of the crew are injured. Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So many people are hurt, and most of the systems are offline. The life support is on backups, and our resources are down to nothing. The Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're focusing on Earth's defense grid, but it's only a matter of time before they return to finish us off.
Sir, I tried to fight them off. The boarding parties, the Gem Hadar. We have to stop the Dominion. They can't take Earth too.
To stop them. Maybe if we hadn't been at war with the Romulans. Maybe if the Klingons had ripped themselves apart. I'll be fine, Captain. Just run.
Never expected they would get so far into our defenses. I'm sorry, Captain. I just need a moment. Then I'll be ready to fight.
Incoming hail!
USS Ajax. Sensors show your ship is completely defenseless, and I would prefer not to delay our arrival at Earth to deal with such a minor annoyance. Surrender now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
Computer, in program.
Hello. Anything involving temporal mechanics is complicated, but the short answer is yes. I am watching these simulations very closely, as are my counterparts from the Republic and the Klingon Empire. Even small changes to time can have large and lasting effects. On Earth, we've called this the butterfly effect. The metaphorical example is of a butterfly flapping its wings and starting a chain of events that lead to a hurricane on the other side of the planet. Again, it is complicated. Suffice it to say that at this moment in time, our governments have all agreed that our options are limited. This might be our best chance to stop or delay the Iconians. But temporal investigations will intervene if we feel that the cure is more dangerous than the disease. Hello. Under ordinary circumstances, perhaps. It's only because the Iconian situation is so desperate that we're allowing this research to continue. You've been on the front lines of the war. I'm sure you realize how few options we have left. Hello. Well, where do I start? I'm 157 years old. That's only because I spent 90 years caught in a temporal distortion in the Typhon Expanse, serving as an ensign under Captain Morgan Bateson in the USS Bozeman. Much of the crew of the Bozeman found it difficult to integrate back into Starfleet. So much had changed. The Temporal Intelligence Agency took in many of my shipmates, due to our first-hand knowledge of events that occurred in the past. So, that's where I ended up. Hello.
Sorry, we were watching from the control room, and that could have gone better. Even with all that, the simulation data on whether the Iconians were entirely eliminated from that timeline is inconclusive. We were able to record your interactions, and we've been able to piece together what happened from those. From what we can piece together, the Klingon Empire was never unified by its conflicts against outsiders, and the great houses turned on one another instead. The Romulans took the chaos as an opportunity to attack. The Federation stepped in to help the Klingons, and the war between the three factions basically ripped the quadrant apart. The Dominion then conquered all three weakened powers. Agreed. My team will continue working on other possible incursion scenarios.
Another one of you Voyagers? I don't know how you can help, but very well. My team is working on scenarios that reduce the Iconian power base. We're attempting to do so by fixing a mistake that Janeway allowed to happen decades ago. We're going to stop the Vaadwaur from being rediscovered. We plan to do this by preventing Voyager from ever coming into contact with Underspace. This will prevent them from finding Vaadwaur Prime, and 7 of 9 will never wake the Vaadwaur. No, but you're all the same. You come to our quadrant, meddle in affairs that don't concern you and that you don't understand, and leave chaos in your wake. Now, you want us to help you alter time. Tell me, does that sound like something someone like you should be doing? None of us are going to survive if we don't try to repair the damage you've already done. The goal is to cause a solar flare that will force Voyager to divert from the course it was on when it stumbled into underspace. If it safely passes without entering underspace, it can continue on its trip home and bypass the Vaadwaur entirely. The simulation is set for the USS Voyager, which is fitting since they caused the problem in the first place. Our projections show that even if the Vaadwaur never return, your people will still find a reason to stick your noses into our business. So, we're attempting to see how the elimination of the Vaadwaur will change the formation of the Delta Alliance. You will be a member of the diplomatic team.
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krennin's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. But there is no reason to dwell on past hurts. We're trying to fix what we can here, and then learn to accept the rest. Noi funnels that passion to help his people into his world. Perhaps it will change everything. It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you. My name is Claudia, and I am a Tutarian. We're from a region of the Delta Quadrant Voyager never visited, so we haven't had much contact with species from the Alpha and Beta Quadrants until now. However, my world has had close ties with the Krenim for several years. Now that they are actively pursuing temporal technology, I chose to join them and lend whatever assistance I can. I miss my home, but I've made a new one here. Meeting Noi has opened me up to a world beyond my own. It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak up. I was on Kiana Prime with Noi when we received word of the Vaadwaur attacks. We had only hours to get the temporal equipment running and remove the population from the time stream. Since then, the focus of my work has been developing more stable data storage. We can see into other timelines, but we need a way to secure the data through temporal shifts, so we can preserve information about incursions and their effects. In the case of a catastrophic shift, that data could be used as a map to restore the timeline. It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you. Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krennin's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Computer. Rogue Program Beta.
This is an absolute disaster. I had thought that Admiral Tuvok was being pessimistic about the chance for success here. But now, I think he was right. No, it's not. The hierarchy started setting these people against one another before Admiral Tuvok and his team could start to pull them together. The very fact that they all agreed to be in the same room is a minor miracle. Eventually, between Vulcan logic, Klingon tenacity, and Romulan pragmatism, we'll convince everyone here that the threat is real, and an alliance is in their best interest. But it won't be easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I see I have another argument to break up.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon are using our system as a dump, and their trash isn't our problem. I should be shouting. I'm upset. The Malon are trying to force us off our beautiful new planet so they can turn it into something toxic. How would you like it if someone treated your ship like a garbage scow? We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon claim the hierarchy are harassing them, but they're targeting our ships too. So I don't know what to believe. But there are rumors, traitor talk, you know how it is. I've heard it a lot lately. They say the hierarchy are capturing people and selling them to another race for experiments or as food. We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon might not be the biggest threat, but they are the most immediate. Wait until they start dumping their trash in your front yard, and see how you like it.
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my planet that supersedes any other concerns. I don't want to talk about the hierarchy. They're nothing but trouble. That's part of the reason we're looking for new dumping grounds. I've lost too many ships in the past year. Half a generation of valuable and desperately needed haulers. They're just gone. And I know the hierarchy is to blame. Are you here to preach about how dare you dictate how we should behave? The disposal of hazardous waste is a noble sacrifice my people make on behalf of their families. Who are you to cheapen their sacrifice? What we do is none of your business. Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my... We don't need outsiders telling us what to do. If the Talaxians want to talk, they can come to us directly.
The Malon have resisted attempts to accept less hazardous waste management practices and continue dumping waste throughout the quadrant. The most at-risk populations are the Talaxians, who have a new colony close to Malon dumping grounds. The Malon have moved into Talaxian space to avoid hierarchy attacks. Diplomatic relations between the Malon and Talaxians are rapidly deteriorating. The Malon have accused the Talaxians of working with the hierarchy, a charge the Talaxians strenuously deny. The Benthans could possibly pressure the Malon to return to the negotiation table.
Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy. The Hazari are stepping up their smuggling operations, and the hierarchy's new drive for profits has created a significant increase in attacks on unaligned transports. We have enough to do at the moment without getting into a dispute that doesn't concern us. The hierarchy is harassing our supply lines, and I'm convinced they're behind the losses we've taken over the past 3 months. We're having to double up patrols, which means we're leaving holes the Hazari can slip through. The Malon are a headache we don't need. Yes, what is your question? I am rather... The hierarchy's surveillance measures are the best in the quadrant. And that's left us more exposed than I would like. We're losing ships. Once or twice we found debris with hierarchy weapon signatures. But they're cautious. It's like they can smell traps. Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy. Good luck with that. The Hazari aren't interested in anything but making deals. This whole meeting is just a waste of time. Unity might work where you come from, but I don't have any reason to cooperate with criminals like the Hazari or thugs like the hierarchy.
What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it the Malon? Before everyone broke ties with the hierarchy, they told us what people say about us. Mercenaries. Honorless. Ha! They all deny it. But we know. Now we look out for ourselves. No. We need to make a living, same as the rest of you. If the Benthans would take out the hierarchy on our borders, we wouldn't be forced to move into Benthan space. But no, they won't do that. They don't think mercenaries rate protection. What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of troublemakers? They make our jobs harder and easier. They watch everyone. We used to trade for information from them, but now they won't sell. If we can capture one of their ships, it's like a treasure hoard of information. Makes hunting bounties real easy. But it's harder to take out their ships. I hear they're getting upgrades. And it's not just their ships. Stories going around about one captain whose arm was ripped off by a hierarchy commander. Used to be, they'd run from fights. Now they start them. What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it the Malon? Fine, run back to the Benthans. I'll be here if you want to talk business.
Unraveling this mess could take months, years.
The number of planets the hierarchy have taken outright has increased 20% over the past 6 months. A push for higher profits has prompted steady growth of hierarchy territory. Reports of abductions in areas near hierarchy space have increased by 77.2%. However, this data has not been confirmed by outside sources because few Delta Quadrant species are willing to share information with the Federation. Further investigation is needed.
Ambassador's log, stardate 87234.5. Our allies in the Kiana system have been invaded by hierarchy forces. The Kiana colony is a small farming community with no strategic value, so the attack simply doesn't make sense. According to one survivor we managed to find, the hierarchy were working with the Ilachi. The Ilachi took captives to an unknown location.
Computer, in program.
Damn, that was useless. The Iconians were so determined to have a hold here that they simply found another species to fit the bill. Maybe if you had been a better negotiator, you would have been able to unite those representatives against the hierarchy. Then, at least we would have had a chance. This scenario isn't as catastrophic as trying to remove the Iconians, but it's not exactly ideal either. We'll have to try something else.
You must excuse my husband's harsh demeanor. This has been a very trying time for the Krenim. Thank you for helping us get this far. We'll keep working.
Trust my wife to be the voice of reason. Perhaps I was too hard on her. I just want to be able to fix all of this. We can't turn back time, but we can change it. Please speak to Gamma Team. Captain Nog thinks that.
Hello. We've been waiting for you. Our team is focusing on delaying tactics. What if Iconia had never been discovered? In 2365, Captain Donald Varley of the USS Yamato found a star chart on Denias 3 that revealed the location of Iconia. I want to redirect a meteor to impact the archaeological site on Denias 3 before Captain Varley begins his excavations. Iconia will remain a myth, and we will not attract the Iconians' attention as early as we did. True, but if you compare the changes in Iconian technology over the past 200,000 years with what the rest of us have done in the past 2 centuries, it's obvious that the Iconian culture has stagnated while we have advanced rapidly. Additionally, there are other factors in play that could trigger the alliances and sharing of technology that have come about because of the Iconian threat. It's a risk, but it's one that could pay off. The program is set for Romulan space. Because the Hobus supernova was caused by direct Iconian interference, we expect Romulus to be intact in this new reality. As such, the Romulan Star Empire should once again be a major power in the quadrant. Your role will be as an officer on a Romulan warbird. Yes, to call it a huge change would be an understatement. Please be aware that nothing will be done unless the Republic agrees this is the best possible solution. There is already a team here working on the possible restoration of Romulus, and Commander Jirak has been authorized to speak for the Republic if needed. The fact that our data shows delaying the Iconian arrival will also save Romulus is an interesting coincidence, but it does not mean we will accept the solution without looking at other options. The program is set for...
Computer, run program Gamma.
Sub-Commander, I'd like to test out some new security passcodes. If you would be so kind as to seal the doors and disable certain, equipment. We need to talk. Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us here. I need to talk to you about the Tan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. What we do next could He and many others have left the homeworld and are gathered together in a flotilla somewhere near Tau Dewa. Datan and his allies have been making overtures of peace to both the Federation and the Klingons. Because of this, they have enough support that even the Tal Shiar won't take direct action against them. The Borg are at our borders. The Empire can't fight the Collective and the Separatists at the same time. Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar... If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant Silan in the brig and then take this ship and crew to join the Separatists. Are you with me? I know. I have tried to work within the system, but the system is broken and corrupt. Datan and his people are building something better. You and I both know it. The crew knows it. We will take this warbird to Datan, and we will finally be free.
Secret conversations between the commander and one of his senior officers. Very suspicious. Loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire have no need for locked doors. Tamer, you are a fool, and you will be the death of everyone on this ship. Datan and his people are terrorists. If you join them, you will share their fate.
A destiny free from the tyranny of the Tal Shiar. If we leave, we will have a better, brighter future than what they would allow us. I know it is a step into the unknown, but it is a step we will take together. Throw off your chains. We will join our brothers and sisters in freedom.
Some of my family has left Romulus to join Datan. I'll
Computer, in program.
That is the most promising simulation yet. It appears there was some merit to our hypothesis that the Iconians advanced their plans due to early contact. The readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk. The data in this simulation does show higher Borg activity than we're currently seeing, but there are no signs of Herald, Iconian, or Solanae presence at all. And while the Romulan Star Empire is restored to their former power, there is a democratic Romulan group opposing the Tal Shiar. And more importantly, Romulus is intact. This is the result many of our Romulan researchers have been trying to bring about. The political calculus of the Quadrant will change, but the data supports what you saw on the holodeck. No Iconians. We have solid projections. The only suggestion I have now is that you consider it in conjunction with Captain Nog and the Republic representatives here.
This last test has the most promising results I've seen, and saving the Romulan homeworld is an added bonus. We're not going to have a lot of shots at this. I've been looking at Anorex's work, and I think it's too easy to get into a temporal loop where you try again and again for a specific result, and time starts fighting back. I'm inclined to say this is our best chance. But this will have a huge impact on the reality we know, especially your people, Commander Jirok. I won't give my authorization without hearing from everyone.
This is difficult. It would change everything for us. We'd have our home back, but the Republic, everything we've built, it would all be gone. But there's still hope. Even in this other reality, Datan has led many Romulans away from Sela and her Tal Shiar thugs.
The simulation specifically mentioned Datan and a separatist movement. Commander Tamer makes the choice to join Datan, the same choice he made after the homeworld was lost. With Romulus, we could have numbers. More people who have had enough of the Tal Shiar's oppression could join us. Maybe millions more. If Datan is able to get a movement going, even at the height of the Empire's power, I have to believe that change is possible. Make the incursion. The lives we save will be worth the work we'll have to do to reform the Republic. The Tal Shiar wasn't able to stop us the first time. They won't stop us again.
Of course.
Target acquired and locked. Activating weapon. Incursion complete.
It will be good to see the world of my birth again. Elements? Is that Romulus? It's been completely assimilated.
Yes, I think we have a problem.
No. We expected to see some Borg activity, but this can't be right.
I agree that this is unexpected, Commander, but we knew there would be anomalies. We need more information. Let's find out where the simulation might have gone wrong.
The whole system can't be assimilated, can it? That is a lot of Borg.
According to these scans, the planet has been completely assimilated. I'm not detecting any non-Borg life signs. This is bad. Really, really bad. We need to fix this. Borg ships decloaking. Red alert.
First the Klingons, now the Borg. Does everyone steal cloaking technology from us?
more information before we can fix this. I'll keep the Krenim ship well out of Borg sensor range while you go in and find out what happened. Hurry. More Borg will be arriving soon. I've modified some personal shield generators to shield you temporally as well. I'm transporting them over now. Hurry. The temporal shielding drains a lot of power. You won't have much time down there before you're unprotected. If that happens, this will be your new reality. Find the node and download all the data you can from the point where we made our incursion. That should help us find out how to fix this.
I'm going to join you. I know this place. Or at least I knew this place. Before we lost the homeworld, it was a Talshar complex. Most of the secrets of our empire were stored here. I thought I was getting my home back, but now the Borg have taken it all away. This is like losing Romulus all over again. The controls ahead of us will unlock the bulkheads. The whole planet. All our people. They're Borg.
Project will start automatically when all the contribution requirements are satisfied.
I can't believe we were so wrong. Cover me! I'll override the door controls. We have to find a way to make this right.
Resistance is futile.
There. That's the access node console we need. Locked. We'll have to circumvent their security measures. Wait! Incoming Borg! When we lost the homeworld, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to us.
You will be assimilated.
This was Romulan technology once, but it's been completely assimilated. Hakiv?
You will become one with the Borg. Resistance is futile.
Looks like the main invasion of Romulan space occurred about 20 years ago. Something happened in the Delta Quadrant. The Borg assimilated something that greatly improved their technology. They adapted, evolved, and my people, they didn't have a chance. Maybe it's our fate to lose Romulus.
Energize.
Let's get out of here. There are more than 20 Borg ships on an intercept course.
More Borg on the way. Borg decloaking.
Shows up, red alert.
Focus on your repairs. We will make sure the data is preserved. Data is compressed and ready. Array is ready. Secure channel confirmed.
Data received!
If we touch the Borg transwarp, the Borg may never be able to reach London.
There's a great risk. The Borg have some time. There is no time to run simulations.
We have a choice?
We do not. Targeting the transwarp network.
Fire the weapon! Now!
The Borg are gone. So is Romulus.
Romulus isn't the only thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
What happened?
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking? No. The Tutarians. They're gone.
How?
I see the problem. 20 years ago, your people tried to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. They failed.
Temporal shield is at 8%.
No, I need to restabilize the shields.
I'm downloading my personal files into the shielded core. You'll have all my research notes and everything we've recorded from this mission.
You're giving up. When the shield fails, if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
Temporal shield is losing integrity.
Is there anything we can do?
No, we all knew the risks. I love...
We've found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Krenim weapon. But as far as I know, the Iconians are still out there. We changed the timeline, but we didn't fix our most important problem. We won't be sure until we finish analyzing the data, but the Krenim weapon was used twice. I remember being on the bridge of the Krenim ship and seeing a readout with a far lower power reserve than had just been there a moment before. I'm sure you had a similar situation. As to the greater differences, we'll know more soon. I only hope the ripples from what we did today don't start a tsunami. We've found a temporally shielded computer. We haven't dug that far into the data yet, and it will take some in-depth investigation to catalog all of the changes. Noi is going to lead the group taking care of that. I will say it is odd to find personal logs I don't remember making. Very. But from what we've already seen, it appears the reason the weapon was fired twice was because we had to try to correct the change we made. Technology like this seems so simple, but even the smallest change can make more trouble than it solves. We have to be more cautious. Far more cautious than we've already been, I suppose. The next mistake might not be fixable. Time alteration might not be the answer. There are some problems that can't be solved with a weapon. But time travel... Look, whatever happens, it was good working with you. I hope we have the chance to do so in the future.
I was conducting another simulation, and all of a sudden I got an emergency call telling me to stop everything. I will be looking at whatever data we managed to save to try and determine what went wrong. Maybe we can try again after we know more. It has been good to have you here, but we will have to consider if time alteration is really the best course of action. Of all the records we have of time travel, few have as drastic a result as this. Perhaps removing elements from the time stream isn't the solution we need.
We put so much hope into using the Krenim technology to solve our problems. Perhaps I was caught up in the possibilities and blind to the potential for disaster. We tried and we failed. But this isn't the end. We'll keep looking at the simulations, as well as any other option open to us. I have to have faith that we will find a way to defeat the Iconians.
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact, and will give us a wealth of data on the timeline and how the changes have affected it. Clearly, you made a mistake somewhere. I still feel this is the best technology available to us, but we will need minds sufficient to the task to operate it.
Captain Nog tells me that the initial test of the Krenim weapon was less than promising. He says that he and his team have a great deal of data still to analyze. But I do not believe they will find much that will assist us. Removing elements from the time stream is reckless. And while our options are limited, we should not destroy ourselves in a fruitless effort to destroy the Iconians. It is time to consider all of our alternatives.
Congratulations.
And one way or another, the war ends today. The Iconians are massing for a final push towards the key worlds of the Alliance. We are gathering any remaining forces to mount a defense. And perhaps, if we are fortunate, we will be able to turn back time. The war continues, and
You are cleared for docking.
High Command is still intact, and Kronos remains unconquered. Even so, this war cannot be won if we lose Earth. The Borgescu will fight until she can fight no more, as will I. If this is to be our end, then I will meet it with blade in hand and blood in my teeth. I can ask for no greater honor than to fight beside an ally who has shown this courage time and again.
Glad you're here. We've been fighting non-stop and it feels like we're barely making a dent. Command says we're preparing for our last chance. I hope they have an ace up their sleeve, because I can't see a way to defeat the Iconians in a straight military battle. Whatever happens, just remember that you'll always have the Enterprise at your side.
All these years of pain and strife, and it comes to this? I cannot believe that this is how we will end. Our suffering, our struggles cannot be rendered so meaningless. You know what we have been through. This bitter taste, this grief that washes over me, cannot be the last thing that I feel. We will rise again from this. We must.
We have defeated one Iconian, but the cost to do so was too high. The Iconian forces are too numerous for us to sustain such a strategy. We have been forced to our last resort. The Krenim time ship has been modified, and we can use it to generate a portal to send us back to the ancient time of Iconia. Once there, we must prevent any Iconians from escaping the destruction of their home world. If necessary. We must kill the remaining Iconians ourselves.
We presumably failed at temporal incursion, changing things in the past while remaining in a bubble of temporally shielded current time. This allows the timeline to unfold as it will, almost randomly. My team and I have been working on an alternative method that will actually send someone back in time to the past, where they can directly affect the timeline and help to guide it along the desired path. We've been running some basic scenarios that leave us quite hopeful that we can aid in the original attacks on ancient Iconia to ensure there are no survivors for us to deal with in the present.
We cannot sustain this war. The Iconians will destroy or conquer every species in the galaxy. If we do not stop them now, there is no guarantee that this plan will work. But if we do not try, we will certainly lose everything. Our long-range sensors have detected signs of transit from the Iconian spheres. The Iconians must be preparing their heralds for another large-scale invasion. We are gathering our remaining forces to make our stand. The Iconians have picked our next battlefield, and it is the Sol System. If Earth falls, we have lost this war. We have one move left to us, and it is to move this war to a battlefield of our own design. We will attack the Iconians in the past. We've identified that the Iconians were forced from their homeworld in an attack 200,000 years ago. We will take part in that attack and ensure there are no survivors to fight us in the present. Noi's team is busy reconfiguring the time ship. There are no guarantees, even with time travel on our side. We must hold out long enough for a ship to pass through a temporal portal. That means fighting this fight and every other until this technology is complete.
Captain, this goes against everything we stand for. Everything we've been fighting for.
You talk of honor and duty and freedom. All of these will just be words if we fail. We can try to live up to these ideals when we survive. We have to...
You are cleared for departure. Good luck. I've gotten word from Noi. They've completed their modifications, and the Krenim time ship is on its way. We must hold off the heralds long enough for the Krenim ship to arrive and generate a portal. Once the portal is opened, we will go back in time to ancient Iconia and try to change history. But first, we must survive long enough to do so.
Enterprise here. We've intercepted a group of heralds. Can you give us a hand with them?
This is the USS Hood. Our attack group is taking heavy losses.
RRW the veterans responding to your call for assistance.
are losing integrity. We need someone on damage control, or we may lose them before the ships in dock can mobilize.
Akagi here. We've restored main power. Thanks for keeping the gantries intact. Bringing the Fight 99th Attack Wing into battle now.
This is ESD control. We're losing life support and transporters are offline.
Earth's space dock has lost main power. We're evacuating the crew.
is getting really annoying. I'm getting sick and tired of this. There's just too doggone many ships. Ridiculous.
told you I'd be back. And this time, I brought friends.
We have brought together forces from every quadrant of the galaxy.
I hope you're happy to see me. It doesn't look like things have been going too well so far. I left because I needed to find allies for this war, ones who you couldn't or wouldn't talk to. The Dominion understands the Iconian threat, and they are quite eager to protect their stupendous galaxy.
The Herald ships are recruited. We should use this respite to our advantage. Form up at the KIS Anarax. We must protect it long enough for it to activate a time portal. Once the portal is stabilized, we can use it to go back to Iconia's past, and hopefully undo this war before it starts. Our situation is desperate. If we fail here, Earth will fall, and Kronos won't have much hope of standing without it.
I am arriving with the time ship. We must protect it until the portal is stable. The Iconians off of us. Entry coordinates have been identified. We're halfway there, creating a bridge across space-time. Open and stable.
Go! Get through that portal!
Setting a course now.
The Heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing. Hurry!
More gateways! An Iconian flagship is moving in!
This is the moment of your extinction.
Not today. Everyone, form up and cover our six.
Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the Valley of Death rode the 600.
only our 2 ships made it through.
There are no signs of Captain Cogran or his ship. We will have to continue the mission without him. Perfect. This will give us a moment to get our bearings and figure out how best to prevent the Iconians from escaping their doom. There are only 12 Iconians that we've encountered, so trying to deal with just those 12 will be a much easier task than trying to take on this whole world.
Greetings of the whole to you, strangers, and welcome to Iconia. My name is Matara-Ren, and I am a herald of Matara. Before I can allow you to pass, I must scan you to ensure that your technology is of a sufficient level for you to be allowed access to our city. This will only take a moment. Your technology is sufficient, but your chronoton particles are substantially out of phase. Please follow me. You must speak to my mistress.
Remember why we are here. Every Iconian must die in the bombardment, and their technology cannot be taken. If even one Iconian escapes, this could all be for nothing. I recommend we begin by infiltrating their government building. We need access to their data and the gateway controls. You've seen the ruins of a once mighty empire. This is Iconia at the height of its power.
I apologize for the interruption, Honored One. These travelers have just arrived at our city. Their chronoton particles are out of phase, and per your instructions, I have brought them to you.
Thank you, Matara-Ren. You may return to your station. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Iconia. It is highly unusual to receive visitors with such unusual chronoton signatures, and yet we have had 2 in less than a cycle. Do you know a being named Cogran? Wonderful. He will be quite pleased to reunite with you. You should be able to find him in the residential district. I imagine you passed through the same chronoton-charged nebula he did. That would account for the anomalous readings. Since you are explorers like Cogran, I suggest you speak to Lemiren. She is the keeper of our world heart, a repository of all knowledge and a genetic record of the worlds we have visited. The astrometrics data in the world heart could prove quite useful to you. Do you have any questions? Our world teems with life, but we were the first to become self-aware. Time is no enemy to us. An Iconian can live thousands of years. But our numbers have always been few, and as the years passed, we understood that would not change. Needing servants and companions, we found a local population that could be molded and shaped to suit our purposes. At first, we used them as beasts of burden, or for tasks that were too difficult or dangerous to do ourselves. I imagine your own species has similar creatures. Over the years, machines and technology began to replace many of those functions. And as technology advanced, what we needed from the Heralds changed as well. Ultimately, we needed beings who could think for themselves. Our genetic reshapers transformed the Heralds from beasts to companions. Now we have achieved a kind of symbiosis. The heralds perform the routine tasks that keep our society moving. We provide leadership, technological advancement, and defense. We are patrons, parents, and perhaps even gods to the heralds. In turn, they are our hands, our eyes, and our pets. Each herald is created to fulfill a specific function for his master. For example, it is my duty to interact with visitors to our world, but I cannot always be there to greet them. Mitarorin stands in my stead, examining those who seek our gifts and bringing any special guests, like yourself, to me. We begin with a particular genetic line. Sometimes we will use archived genetic material from the world heart, but most often we simply take what we need from heralds who already perform a similar service. We then resequence the genetic material in utero, removing any defects and enhancing natural abilities that herald will need. We also modify their behavior to ensure loyalty and remove unwanted aggression. Once they are born, we begin an intensive training process. Heralds mature very quickly, so by the time their training is complete, they are fully grown and ready to serve.
Greetings, travelers. Are you explorers, or do you come seeking our wisdom and guidance? Either way, I apologize. I am rather occupied at the moment. Please return later. I should have time to speak to you then. The World Heart is the repository of all our knowledge. It contains the genetic information of every species on Iconia and all of our colony worlds. With it, we can colonize and repopulate an entire world, shaping it to resemble our home in just a few short years. It also holds a record of our culture, history, literature, and philosophy. This is why we call it the World Heart. It is, in a very real way, the center of our civilization.
The changes we see in the Iconians are too great to be simple evolution. The Iconians shape themselves and the Heralds into weapons. Genetic engineering that is both efficient and terrible.
You made it. Something must have gone wrong as we entered the portal that disrupted synchronization. I arrived 2 weeks ago. I remained cloaked, scanned the planet for several days, and then came to the surface as an explorer, seeking to open diplomatic relations with the Iconians. My ship is using the magnetic fields above the poles to help conceal its presence. The Iconians of this time are nothing like the ones we know. They are flesh, and appear to be friendly and peaceful, if a bit arrogant with those they see as lesser. Come. They will allow us to move through the city freely. You should see this for yourself.
Cogran is either a fool, or he's being manipulated by the Iconians. Either way, he might jeopardize the mission. We'll need to watch him closely.
Someone's calling for help.
An injured herald. This could be a chance to learn about their physiology. Perhaps even find a weakness.
Hello. Can you help us? My herald is injured, and I cannot leave him.
I need someone to bring us some healing supplies. Thank you. There should be a healer nearby.
Do you require assistance, visitor? Certainly. However, I do not detect any injuries or maladies in your physical form. What do you require? Oh, of course. It is our duty and privilege to care for our heralds. I will follow you to the patient.
We'll see who the lesser race is.
I have spent days among these people. They are very proud and very strong.
Thank you, Traveler. I appreciate your assistance. Exceedingly well. We do what manual labor needs to be done, as well as other tasks. And in return, the Iconians give me all I could need or want. I know it might sound like enforced servitude to you, but I don't see it that way. The Iconians are our beginning and our end. I am nothing without my mistress, and serving her is my greatest joy.
How do you feel about your creator? The Iconians are parent, teacher, master, friend. They are our rulers and our gods, and I am grateful for their guidance. They give purpose and structure to our lives. We would not exist without them.
The Iconians' affection for their pets is a weakness. We can exploit that.
I am not so sure. After all, we've seen how the Iconians will transform their pets. The Heralds are merciless killing machines. They have killed multitudes during this war.
Deaths that we will avenge here. No more waiting. We need to finish our mission. I don't understand why you're bothering to help these people. We need to find the gateway controls, sabotage them, and be done with it. This could all be over if you'd let it.
Clearly the Iconians have a highly developed sense of the aesthetic.
That's fine, but what we need is to know more about their technology. And we're going to a park.
When you have technology as advanced as the Iconians, wonders can be found anywhere you look. We should talk to that officer over there.
I see you are interested in this device. We are testing a new method of encryption. So far, it has proven to be most effective. To access the console, you must solve a series of problems that we believe only an Iconian could answer. Unfortunately, I fear the console is stuck in a testing phase, which is why I am protecting it. It may be a waste of time. You appear intelligent enough, but I doubt you or any of our other visitors could solve even the easiest of problems in the algorithm. I am not supposed to leave this area unwatched, but all of my heralds are performing other duties. And if Elmiran sent you, very well. Thank you, Traveler. I will not be long.
Just as I surmised. The Iconians are following their own version of the Prime Directive. They are attempting to protect lesser developed species from acquiring technology that they may not use wisely or well.
Not so fast. We've only heard one side of the story. I'd like to know what some of the other visitors here think about the oh-so-noble Iconians.
We will gladly give you the medicines you require, but our genetic engineering technology is off limits.
The medicine will help with this plague. But what about the next one? We need the ability to take care of ourselves, but you won't give us the means to do so.
I am sorry, but we have extremely stringent rules about who can use our technology. There are many species who are not yet ready to use our gifts safely and wisely. One moment, Falkar. Yes? May I help you? I will take your opinion under advisement, but ultimately, this is an Iconian matter. You are simply another visitor on our world.
We haven't made much headway trying to reverse engineer the gateways, but just imagine what we could do with it.
Oh, I have. You can move an army in the blink of an eye. Think about what would happen if all these heralds just showed up on your planet. Oh, they'd take over in a day. I'm still trying to acquire some of their data. Have you had any luck yet?
Nothing yet, despite all their openness and hospitality. The Iconians have everything on lockdown. Can't even get near the building where they keep the world heart without some herald stopping me. If I were the Iconians, I too would think twice about giving people like these advanced technology.
This doesn't prove anything. So the Iconians had their reasons for withholding technology. I don't care, and neither do their enemies. We know the bombardment is imminent. This world will be obliterated, no matter how much you sympathize with the Iconians. And don't forget what we're here to do. There can be no survivors.
Tell your ships to drop into orbit above the polar region. My ship is cloaked there.
Excuse me, but I require assistance. We have lost contact with several of our colony worlds. I am attempting to increase the range of this communications console to re-establish the connection. But I need another set of hands to adjust the frequency while I attempt to dial in the proper network levels. All of my heralds are currently working on the evacuation. Would you be willing to help me? Curious. Our communications should be reaching the colonies, but I am not receiving any response to my messages. Something terrible must have happened. We were not concerned about the lesser races. Not at first. They were like children who wanted things they could not understand. It was our duty to protect them, to guide them. In time, when they were ready, we would have shared all of our gifts. I do not know. If the colony worlds have fallen, then I am sorry. Please excuse me. I must speak to our leaders.
We already know the evacuation did not save them.
But the gateway on New Romulus remained active for a time.
Then we must cut off that path, now, before anyone escapes.
Welcome, traveler. I apologize for my earlier absence. Do you have questions about our world? We have had contact with many worlds in our journeys, but we have found no people equal to our own. Some of the others resent the blessings our people enjoy. They seek to take that which we will not yield. Our policy is not to share our technology with species who are not sufficiently advanced to use our gifts wisely. When a society encounters advanced technology, before they are ready, they often don't have the cultural or social development to handle it appropriately. This leads to war, genocide, and many other ills. We would protect the younger species from those tragedies. Our people believe, also, that each species has a unique destiny. To disrupt their path toward that destiny, is wrong. All of the others must develop in their own time. While we are an extremely advanced world, we are not, in general, a militant one. Tiquette will coordinate the defense, but I remain hopeful that we can reach a peaceful solution before blood is shed. Matara speaks for us, and she is quite a gifted diplomat. If all else fails, there are places known only to us and those who serve us. Our gateways can take us to these refuges to recover and rebuild. Will you help us? The attack is beginning. I thought we'd have more time. We must retrieve the World Heart and escape. Will you help us?
The attack is beginning. We must decide how to proceed. I have spoken to these people, walked their streets, shared their meals. Regardless of what we know they will do in the future, the Iconians of this time are not evil. They are peaceful. And they are guilty of no crimes, worse than standing up for their ideals. The very same ideals, I might point out, as the Federation's prime directive. You have walked the same streets as I, spoken to the same people. Can you allow them to die for crimes they have not yet committed? For my part, I find no honor in cold-blooded murder.
It doesn't matter what these people are now. We know what they will become, what they will do. The Iconians will destroy my homeworld. They will bomb the Archive in the Lena system and exterminate the Preservers. They will incite the Undine to destroy Kessig 4. They will attack our homeworlds, kill those we love, and threaten our very existence. And that changes nothing. We know what will happen. In our time, they are poised to destroy or enslave the galaxy. There is no choice. We destroy them now and save ourselves.
It's a bit late for second thoughts. Our mission is clear. We don't have a choice. We're here, and we will do what needs to be done. Atone for your sins after you've saved the galaxy.
The World Heart contains all of our knowledge and all our genetic data. With it, we can rebuild. We have a refuge built for those who serve us. We shall go there.
We should be able to access the gateway network from here. We could disable all of the gateways at once.
We offered Lemirin our aid. There is no honor in striking down an ally from the Hive.
The honorable thing would be to complete our mission and save our galaxy. Or do you not care about what happens to Kronos?
We need to transfer the World Heart to a transportable format. I'll need your help to initiate the download from that console. The download is proceeding, but it will not complete before the invaders find us. to release the magnetic interlocks holding the core. I need you at the other console. More invaders. They must not take the world heart. The mainframe memory banks. I will require your assistance. More aliens are coming. Protect me. The last step is to eject the world heart. Was just the beginning of the violence. My people are few, and most of our heralds are elsewhere. Defeating a significant force would be costly to both sides. I know you are not one of the whole, and I have no right to ask for your assistance. But would you help us evacuate the city? Blessings of the whole upon you. We must gather as many of our people as possible and escort them to the gateway platform. Once we are there, I will open the path to our refuge. Many of our people already left for Colony Worlds, but we have lost contact with them. I fear the worst. I recommend we locate Tiket. She is our protector, and there are none who know the ways of our enemy as well as she. Tiket is a fearsome warrior and has kept our people safe for countless millennia until today.
Rescuing Iconians is not what we're here to do.
Perhaps it is. When we came back in time, we did not know what we would find.
I appreciate your efforts, stranger, but I cannot come with you. I will defend Iconia until my final breath. Honor? Why should I care about honor when Iconian blood is being spilled on sacred ground? What honor have our enemies shown? They attack a peaceful world. Honor is meaningless. I appreciate your efforts, stranger, but I cannot come with you. I will defend Iconia until my final breath. Your words have merit. If we go to the refuge, we can rebuild. There, we can plan our vengeance. No one will ever threaten us again.
She is a fool. She would let her people die so she could avenge them.
Vengeance is a powerful weapon.
This tragic day. Thank you. You have shown exceptional kindness and valor in this trying time. I will miss my home. Iconia is precious to us, but as long as the whole survives, we can use the world heart to rebuild.
These are not a warlike people.
Not yet. That will change.
Bloodshed affects everyone differently. My people became warriors when an alien species threatened our home.
And the Iconians will become conquerors. I see your plan. We've won their confidence, gathered them together. Strike now, and we can eliminate them all.
The gateway is damaged. You will need to reroute the power and reinitialize the gateway open sequence.
Didn't the others save the Iconians? Where are they?
They may already be here.
Killed each other.
We're losing ground!
We can't hold them off.
That's it. Send them through.
No! This isn't our mission! You took everything from me!
The World Heart.
There's no time. The gateway is closing.
Only 12 of us are left. That crystal contains our civilization.
Seela, stop! We are better than this!
I will remember this, Romulan. I will extinguish your people in payment for your treachery.
This has all played out this way before. I am the cause for Hobus. I know what you were going to say, but I did what I had to do for my people. I should have acted sooner. If I had, perhaps Romulus would have been restored. That camp... Taket! What have I done?
The Iconians have fled to Dewa 3, and the Gateway's console has been destroyed, so no one can follow them. Our fate may not have changed from our actions here, but we have done what honor demanded. We are not murderers. Whatever our future may hold, we will face it with our eyes open
and our heads held high. We must return to our own time and see what effect our actions had.
We're initiating a tachyon burst to reopen the portal that brought us here. That should bring us back to the exact moment we left the present time.
Figured as much.
The heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing! Hurry!
Captain Cagran to Alliance Fleet. Stand down. I repeat, stand down. You have the World Heart and the means to end this. Signal the Iconians, show them we have it, and that we are the ones who saved them. This is our last chance to end this war.
Do you wish to surrender? A wise decision. How did you acquire that? That is not possible. But yet, I see the World Heart in your hands. It is time to end this. Your leaders, our unity. Now. examine you closely, but now that you stand before me, I remember you helped us, although it gained you nothing. You are the other. Hate blinded us. Fear of the unknown crippled us. Pain called out for blood in ever greater measures. The events of that day set us on this path. It grieves me to see where it has led. After we escaped to Daewon 3, protecting ourselves became our sole purpose. We transformed ourselves, our whole, even our heralds, to prevent another tragedy. And we vowed never to trust again. I did, and it saved us. But we believed the other lost to us. And you were lost to time. And we preserved the whole by any means necessary. Indeed, we protected the whole against the lesser species who would destroy us if given a chance, who would steal what we would not give freely. And we did not mourn the deaths of those who were not a part of our unity. And then we faced you, a foe who would not yield, who subverted time itself in an attempt to destroy us. But instead, you showed compassion, even though you knew what would happen to your people if we survived. You helped us, because that is who you are. I am humbled in the face of such integrity. I shall be forever grateful to you for showing us the error of our ways. No, I will not accept this. Whatever these creatures did in the past is meaningless. It and they killed our sister. They broke our unity. And for that, I will destroy them. I will never forget what you have done, or what that creator, the Receiver, did. There will never be enough blood to wash away my need for vengeance. A single world. I can destroy 1,000,000 worlds, and it would not be enough. Your existence is an insult to the memory of our people. I
I don't know what to say. I thought I was protecting our future. But instead, all this... It happened because of a mistake I made hundreds of thousands of years ago. I've made a lot of difficult choices in my life. And I didn't always consider the consequences of my actions. Today has made me wonder if there's another way. If I can be better than I am.
We have much to do, but first, we will celebrate. Let the blood wine flow now that the bloodletting has ceased. There is more to being a warrior than vengeance and death. True honor comes from doing what is right, despite the personal cost. The Iconians will depart, and we will rebuild. Mercy has triumphed where weapons could not. Now I will try to find a way to share this wisdom with my people. Many warriors have fallen in this war. Those of us who remain must walk the path of honor.
I thought this was it. The last day. And I was ready, but I'm glad my daughter didn't have to die in defense of the Federation. That I get to go home after this. We all do. Thank you.
There's a lot of work to be done now. We need to rebuild, recover, try to learn how to live in this new reality. But with people like you on our side, I know we can do it.
Your compassion has accomplished more in one act than we could have with all the phasers in the fleet. Honor and selflessness have been almost forgotten over the past few years. That needs to change. It's time to act like Starfleet officers again. We have a lot to do to heal the wounds the war has left on us all. But we've survived the Borg and the Dominion. We can survive this.
The war is over. Although we could not turn back the clock and restore the lives that were lost and the planets that were ravaged, we have ended the conflict honorably. You made the right choice. And that is not always an easy one to make. I would be honored to fight by your side again. Before that day comes, however, we must rebuild. There is already talk of new exploration missions. Perhaps we will find our next challenge among the unexplored stars.
Congratulations, Admiral. Rozek. One to beam up.
we've detected an anomaly in the Azure network. Because of the Tholian activity in that area, we're concerned that they may be attempting to open a rift to the mirror universe. I need a ship to go out there and check it out.
question. Thank you, Captain. The Tholian Assembly appreciates your loyalty. So many ship captains threw away their lives needlessly in the days after they annexed this area of space. It'll take a few hours to offload your cargo. Feel free to grab a hot meal in the commissary. I know that comforts can be hard to come by in this sector. I recommend the plomig soup. It almost tastes like something. Do you need anything else?
The Tholian Assembly is concerned for your welfare.
Hello. For all I know, you could be informing on me to the Tholians. But if I don't answer, you'll probably tell them I'm hiding something. My name is Talon. I was born on Romulus. After the war, I signed on to a freighter crew working the Bolian run. My captain got in trouble with the Tholians, and I ended up here.
I'm a true and loyal servant of the Tholians, and I don't want any trouble. Now go away and leave me alone.
Don't bother me.
It's too bright in here. Why would you care about me? No one cares about me. Go away.
Haven't seen you around here before, Captain.
Got a minute to talk? I know. I asked around about you, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but I need your help. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. Not in this timeline, I mean. My ship, my crew, we were supposed to do something important. We went through an anomaly, moved through time, and everything changed. We tried to go back. I guess the battle with the Klingons disrupted the anomaly. Instead of getting back where we belong, we ended up here with the Tholians running everything. I'd never even seen a Tholian before. You have to help us set things right. You have to help us get back to our ship. Me and my crew. There are a little over 100 of us here, scattered throughout the work camp. We're about 65 years ahead of where we should be, according to my math. We were fighting the Romulans. This was back in 2344. And the weapons discharges caused a temporal rift. We passed through, and because we weren't at Narendra to do what we were supposed to do, the timeline changed. We ended up in a timeline where the Federation and the Klingon Empire were at war. The Federation was losing, badly. We tried to go back to set things right. Then the Klingons found us in the Enterprise D. There's someone here with us from that timeline. Her name is Tasha. I'll take you to her. Maybe she can help explain this.
We need your help. My name is Tasha Yar. I was Chief Tactical Officer of the USS Enterprise D. In my timeline, we were fighting a war against the Klingons, and I was proud to do my part to protect the Federation. What I learned, though, in the correct timeline, history as it should be. I died a meaningless death. I accepted the risks when I put on the uniform, and I don't regret what happened. But if I'm going to die, I want it to mean something. That's why I chose to go back with the Enterprise C. I know this is a lot to accept, but you have to trust us. We need your... My name is Tug. I know this is a lot to accept, but you have to trust us. We need your help. I'm from Starfleet, and if I'm right, that's a name that should ring bells with you as well. In an alternate timeline from this one, the correct one, Starfleet is still alive and well, and you're a Starfleet officer too. When the Enterprise C moved ahead in time, it created an alternate timeline, one in which I was alive but shouldn't have been. I left with the Enterprise to set things right. We thought we were returning to the Narendra system in 2344 to defend the Klingon colony there from a Romulan attack. We ended up in this nebula in 2409. The Tholians caught us before we could try again, and you can guess the rest. We're going to try to restore the timeline, but to do so, we need the Enterprise C. It's still in the hangar here, and as soon as we get back to her, we'll find the temporal rift and get back to where and when we're supposed to be. To do that, we need your help. Franklin Drake is already helping us. He managed to get an access key used to operate the systems in the hangar control room. We need you to get the code from Drake and use it to open the doors to the hangar control room. I'd go myself, but we've already been here a week. The Tholians know we're trying to get back to the ship. They're watching us. But you're new. They won't suspect you're involved. That's the idea, at least. Of course, it's not as simple as getting the code and opening the door. The Tholians have guards on all critical areas. You'll need to slip past the guards and get into the maintenance tunnels. From there, it's a winding maze to the hangar control room, which can only be unlocked from the inside. Once you get in, you'll be able to open the doors. We'll be waiting there to help you free the Enterprise. Here, take this communicator. It's on a scrambled frequency the Tholians don't monitor, and it'll allow me to contact you while you're on the move. Maybe you can convince someone to cause a distraction. That might make slipping past the guards into the tunnels easier.
Question. Take it. Here's a map, too. You'll need it in the tunnels. I still don't know why I'm risking my neck for this. Don't expect any more help from me. The Federation fell before I was born. I shouldn't even care, but there's something about Yar and Castillo. I know they believe they can make a difference. It makes me want to believe. Do you need anything else?
you looking for something? Do I look like a soldier? I wouldn't take on those Tholian goons. Not even if you pay me all the gold plus platinum in the sector.
What do you want? I may be a Klingon, but I am not a fool. Kahless once talked about a man who stepped outside to battle a storm. Kahless went to this man and asked him why he didn't seek shelter. And the man replied that he would stand before the wind and make it respect him. Kahless honored his choice and went inside. The man died. The wind does not respect a fool, and neither do the Tholians. I will not commit suicide, so you can make a pointless attempt at escape.
Your plan is foolhardy. If you want to die, do it without my assistance.
How can I assist you? I don't remember the Federation, or Starfleet. The war was almost over before I was born. This is the only life I know. One of servitude, deprivation, loss. I want something better. That freedom my parents and grandparents told me about. I want the Federation back. I'll help.
Protect you forever! Your suit will protect you forever.
Well done. Those maintenance tunnels are a maze. They make navigating the Jeffries tubes on the Enterprise look easy. I recommend using the map to keep track of where you've been, what doors lead away from which room, and where you are currently. Are very precise. They want to learn everything they can about the ships they're capturing. All rooms connected to the hangars have their atmospheres exchanged to prevent damage to the systems they're dismantling for study. Also, sometimes they force humanoids to do the work for them, so they'll pump in something we can handle. Looks like the Enterprise C's transporters are still online. We can beam the rest of the crew onto the ship before we leave.
We need to work together. What do you want me to do? I was the helm officer on the Enterprise before everything went to hell. But I'm really handy with heavy machinery, like those clamps holding the ship. I know I could take care of those and get us free. If you need me to do something else, maybe I could work on that web shield. It will need to come down before it can fly out of here. Or the ship's power. I know every inch of the old girl. If I could figure out the Tholian interface, I might be able to connect to the ship and restore the power remotely. We need to work together. What do you want me to do?
I am here to assist. What? My first posting in Starfleet was to an ambassador-class vessel. I am familiar with most of the ship's systems, but I spent several months working on a refit of the ship's computer. I am confident I can restore the ship's power levels quickly. Also, I do have some experience with Tholian technology from my time in the Resistance. If you prefer, I could attempt to deactivate the web shield or tractor beams. I am here to assist. What do you require?
We don't have much time. I know a few tricks to take that tractor beam system offline. I'm also fairly confident that with enough time, I can release the docking clamps holding the ship, or take down the Tholians. We don't have much time. Priming clamp hydraulics. I'll need to override the security lockout. There. Releasing docking clamps now. You deactivated all the security protocols. She's quite a ship. It's too bad we'll have to sacrifice her to restore the timeline. Do you want me to do that for you? I know a few things about force fields. Having trouble? You do know that we could have Tholians swarming us any minute, right? I thought we took care of everything. Starfleet Protocol 547C clearly states that...
I don't think the Tholians have heard of Protocol 547C.
Well, seems that time is up, so I guess I'll be getting off, so until the next time, I bid thee farewell. This is Talon King, signing off.